Srimad Bhagavatam by Kamala Subramaniam, Chapter 11, Vidura's Return After the War. Vidura left Hastina and went on a pilgrimage to all the holy rivers of Bharatavarsha. He wanted to visit all the tirthas which had been sanctified by the Lord in his three forms, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahadeva. He went to Vrindavan first and spent some time under the shelter of the Govardhana hill. He walked all the way to the river Narmada and bathed in her waters, which were always clear. He visited Pampasaras, where Sri Rama once stayed while he searched for his Sita. Pushkara was one of the many tirthas. He went all over the surface of the country, dressed in tree barks, with his body covered with dust and his hair all matted because of negligence, and the frequent baths in the several rivers. He was bent on only one thing, the feet of Narayana. And with this thought ever in his mind, he managed to shed the opposites and attain a semblance of peace. Vidura reached Prabhasa, the favorite spot of Krishna. There he heard about the annihilation of the family of Dritarashtra, like the destruction of a bamboo forest by the fire which is born of the bamboo itself. He heard that Yudhishthira was now the sole monarch of the entire Bharatavarsha. He tried to grasp the facts. Protected as he was by the armor of detachment, still his heart was touched with great sorrow, and quietly he walked towards the banks of Sarasvati. From there he pursued his journey towards the Yamuna. On the banks of the river Yamuna he met Uddhava. Uddhava sent him to sage Maitreya to learn Brahma Vidya. Vidura spent some time in the ashrama of Maitreya, and from there he travelled towards Hastina. He wanted to meet Yudhishthira and his brothers. He wanted to fall at the feet of his brother Dritarashtra and console him and Gandhari in their sorrow. This was a mission he had to perform. After that, he was free to go to Badarikashrama and shed his frame. That was his intention, to perform tapas and attain freedom from the bondage called life. He had no desire. 35 years had passed since Yudhishthira began to rule the kingdom. He had now learnt the art of detachment. The lesson he had learnt was the lesson of dedication. His grandfather had taught him again and again that a king belonged to the people and not to himself. He could not afford to have feelings and emotions of his own. His sole concern should be the welfare of his subjects. Yudhishthira had no time to look back on the events of the long ago which precipitated the terrible war. He realized that blaming himself for the events of the past was wrong and fruitless. Yudhishthira had performed the Ashvamedha, and he had earned peace of mind. He was ruling the earth, which was bounded only by the sea on all sides. He was like Indra ruling the celestial kingdom. The earth was happy under his rule. The land was fruitful, the people were contented. There was rain in plenty, and the cows yielded milk, which was like Amrita. There was no theft, and goodness reigned in the hearts of all. Suddenly, Yudhishthira saw evil omens in the sky. He had seen them once before, and that was before the Kurukshetra war. The same planets, and assumed the same positions, relatively, and this spelt calamity, a great calamity to the world. When he was worried as to what the skies prophesied, Vidura arrived in Hastina. Yudhishthira was speechless with amazement and happiness. Tears flowed from his eyes at the sight of his beloved uncle. All the members of the royal family welcomed him. Dritarashtra, Yuyutsu, Sanjaya, Kripa, Kunti, Gandhari, Draupadi, Subhadra, Uttara, Kripa, the wife of Drona, and the brothers of Yudhishthira. The meeting between Vidura and Dritarashtra was very tender. The old king had been missing Vidura, and like the body welcoming the life breath which had left it for a while, he embraced his brother. After they got over the first thrill, they all went into the inner chambers. The guest was made to take food and rest himself. Yudhishthira then asked him how he was and what he had been doing all these years. He said, "Did you think of us all, uncle, during these years? We have not forgotten you and your affection for us. During the days when we were young, you protected us under your wings like a mother bird her fledglings. We would have been burnt in the house of Lak with our mother long ago if it had not been for you. How have you been all these years? Tell us about the many tirthas you have visited. My lord, men like you who have the form of the Lord ever present in your minds are considered to be tirthas. When you visit the rivers polluted by ordinary men, you purify the tirthas. I have been told that Ganga, when she was beseeched by Bhagirata to come down to the earth, said, I am heavenly, and if I come to the earth, the sins of those who bathe in me will contaminate me and rob me of my purity. I do not want that to happen. Bhagirata said, Pure and holy men will bathe in you. They will be the ones to purify you. They are called Tirtha-rupas. Tell us about all that has been happening to you all these years. We are eager to hear your words. Vidura related to them what he had been doing. He described the many holy spots he had visited. Time passed very quickly and very pleasantly for all of them. Vidura spent some time with them in the palace. Most of it he spent in the company of his unfortunate brother Dritarashtra. Chapter 12. The End of Dritarashtra. Vidura, after spending a reasonable number of days in Hastina, realized that time was running short and that he should not waste any more time. He had to do what he had come there to do. He spoke to Dritarashtra one day. He said, My beloved brother, you have never listened to the words of advice I was wont to speak in those days, but this once you must listen to me. Leave this city and go to the forest, my lord. Please abandon all comforts and go far away from the city to the forest. Dritarashtra turned his unseeing eyes on his brother and said, I do not understand what you are saying. Tell me why I should go to the forest at this old age, helpless as I am with this infirmity. Explain to me why I should go. I know there must be a reason behind this suggestion of yours, Vidura. Why do you ask me to go away? Vidura spoke in a gentle and persuasive voice. He said, Dread Kala is coming fast towards us. There is nothing that can withstand its power. No word can coax it to go back. Death is very near. When the hand of Kala is touching you, you have to renounce this life, which is very dear to you. What then can one say about the other things which are dear to us? Wealth, kinsmen, power? What can all these do when death draws near? Let me speak candidly some home truths. You have no one whom you can call yours. Your father, your brother, your friends, your sons are all gone, buried in the depth of oblivion. As for your body, old age has swallowed almost all of it. Think of the house you live in. Even that does not belong to you. Your sons were killed by Bhima, and it is food given by that Bhima which you are eating. Surely life is very dear to you, if you are prepared to undergo such humiliation. This life of yours, my dear brother, is allowed to you out of sufferance. You tried to kill the Pandavas in the house of Lak. You tried to kill Bhima by mixing poison with his food. You insulted them and their queen in the court. You stole from them their wealth and their kingdom. And yet they have granted you this life. What is the use of living in such ignominy, my brother? Even if you are unwilling to relinquish this life and these comforts, death is not going to spare you. Whether you like it or not, this body of yours is growing old, and with age like a garment which has been used constantly. Ponder on these truths for a moment. Be brave for a change. A brave man is one who, having abandoned his wealth, his kith and kin, his sons and his family, goes away in secret to the forest and sheds his human body. This vairagya may come to him of its own accord, or he may adopt it after being told about it. But a man who has the strength of mind to take to this course and spends the rest of his life in the forest thinking on the Lord all the while is indeed a prince among men. It is easy enough to be brave when one is young, but the really brave man is one who feels the approach of death and is prepared to shed this body without any regret. Forget this city of pain, brother. Get up and go towards the north, the path of heaven. Dritarashtra was silent for a long time. For the first time in his life, he considered the advice of Vidura without protesting. The night had passed the second yama. Dritarashtra got up from his bed and told what he had decided to do to his queen, that great lady who had tied up her eyes with a silken scarf on the day she was married, since she did not want to see the world which he could not see. She spoke not a word. Quietly she came and stood by his side. Accompanied by Vidura, the old couple left the palace without anyone knowing about it.